Hello, you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Firework, SPS Commerce, and Sezzle. All right, let's go to headline number 5. So Sephora is partnering with a new tech startup, Lucky, to connect its store inventory to any brand's D2C website. According to a Lucky company blog post, now when customers shop online on their favorite beauty brands' websites, they're able to see nearby Sephora stores with the product availability in real time. They can then purchase from Sephora for same-day delivery or in-store pickup, giving customers the fastest way to get the products they need from their desired local stores. The partnership makes thousands of products accessible to more U.S. customers by offering them the option to pick up their online orders at a nearby retail location or have it delivered straight to their homes. Chris, we've been talking a lot about this at Shop Talk. Lots of CPGs here talking about going direct to consumer. But what do you think about this news from Lucky?
I love this story. I mean, I think this is one I fought hard for this week, too. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a couple key points I would make. One is, I'm all in on the way they're doing this with the CPG and the retailers working together in a combined approach to go direct. The CPG is going it alone, and you could hear this when we were talking to Coca-Cola. You can hear it when we were talking to Mars. You can hear it in people on stage. There's still a lot of skepticism out there, and when you talk to experts, too, like, there's still a lot of skepticism out there about CPG brands actually going direct and fulfilling product themselves, because there's just no way you can make money shipping something that costs.
Especially with like a Coca-Cola, like we talked to Simon about yesterday. Like it's heavy.
You can't ship a bottle of Coke.
Ship that efficiently.
Right? It's just not going to work. So, and you need to combine it with, even if you're going to ship like a case or something, it's got to be combined with something else in the order to make it work. And so, and the brands are going to struggle with that because no one's ever going to buy a bunch of stuff from Coke, directly. So they're going to buy it as a one-off. But the second point I make too is that by integrating with Sephora and the brands that Sephora sells, Lucky is actually doing something really different here than some of the other technologies in this space that we've highlighted before. Many of the technologies we've highlighted before are scraping the websites, right? They're scraping the websites for what they think are the inventory feeds. Here you're getting a direct integration with Sephora's inventory and the brand's inventory, which ultimately leads to a better, more confident consumer experience in the long run. And that's a really big deal. So for that reason, and as I've said on social media a lot of times, I think it's just a matter of time before this idea starts to take hold throughout the industry. And Sephora, if you think about it, is one of the best table setters for what's going to come, because they're one of the best omnichannel retailers. Right. And what they do, we've tended to pay attention to. So I'm hoping the other retailers and brands are listening, because this is something to watch, because it will make the fulfillment of your products as a CPG and on behalf of the retailer that much easier to do, and that much more cost efficient as well. Yeah,
and I think it'll give them there's such a huge opportunity here in the beauty market, especially when you start to think about where consumers are seeing this content. Like beauty alone it's like one of the most searched and engaged with pieces of content on Instagram, on TikTok. And you start to think about, what is that experience right now for your consumers? I see this, DIY beauty demo on TikTok. I click through to the brand's page to buy that item. Right now, you're taken to the brand page, then you're taken to the store finder, and you're getting the customer steps away from that content. Neil Reynolds and I from Mars Wrigley, we were talking about that and how they're challenged with that right now. You take them out of the content, you take them, down a rabbit hole, and then they can't get back to that post that they were seeing. But now what you're able to do, you can take this, you can stay within the brand's experience. You're giving the brand that one-to-one relationship. The brand gets to see what retailers are performing for them, what fulfillment options the customers want. They're able to stay on top of that brand, work through promotions now with that company, with those companies where they're sending their consumers. But ultimately, they're giving the consumer the best possible experience and getting them back to that content. That's convenience. And I think that's the important thing that we don't highlight. It's not about getting it quickly. It's about how do you keep the consumer, give them the least disruption possible to engage with your brand.
Yeah, I mean, you just hit something on the head for me that I hadn't thought about until you just said that. So kudos to you for the way you articulated that, because what you have essentially here with this technological capability is you have a conversion driving tool, because like you said, especially in the beauty space, like you said, I never thought about that. Like, the beauty space is so heavily involved in social commerce. You see that you're at the point of inspiration. It's going to help drive conversion because it's going to take you to the brands you want that quickly with the confidence the inventory is there.
Right.
And at the same time, as an operational savings. there aren't many technologies where you're going to find the conversion and the operational savings in how the order gets fulfilled at the end of the day, which is really important to think about.
And I think the other thing too, and I thank the Matthew Price and Neil Reynolds, who were on my panel yesterday about convenience here, for opening my eyes to this. It's not just about the consumer facing thing too, but the other part of this too is that it opens you up to set up your company better for other players in the space, the DoorDashes, the Uber Eats of this, who are also going to be fulfilled. Like right now, it's here are the stores, the bricks and mortar locations you can go to, but you're also setting up operational efficiencies when you start to talk about giving your content to those marketplaces like DoorDash, like Uber Eats, to offer another level of fulfillment for your consumer.
Easily fill into this equation too in the long run. So yeah, wow. Great story to end on. Really, really heady stuff there.
Yeah.
And really something to watch because it's going to happen, folks.